Welcome to the Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. Each show will be filled with news, interviews, technology, and reviews all about you, the writer. And now here's our host, H.D. Campbell. Hi, welcome to the Author's Corner with H.D. Campbell. As always, I'm your host, H.D. Campbell. I'm here at the park today because it's a wonderful day, a day that God made for us. And on that theme, I have two Christian-based authors on my show today. I have Mr. Sean Heinman and I have Miss Sabrina Williams. Need a manuscript edited? Or maybe you need a press kit. H.D. Campbell Productions can give your project detailed attention and will not be satisfied until you are. We also do press releases, resumes, and more. For prices and services, log on to my online store at www.hdcampbell3.net. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. Have you checked out the Author's Corner lately? It's the best show you're not watching. It's filled with news, interviews, reviews, and other surprises. Check me out twice a month with the latest in the literary world. Check me out on my website, www.hdcampbell3.net, or my YouTube channel at hdcampbell1230. And as always, let your writing fuel. Welcome back to the show. We're starting out our show with Sean Heinman. He's going to teach us how to have a stable marriage in the Lord. While I sit up here and swing, let's find out more about Sean Heinman. So what inspired you to write the book?
What inspired me to write the book was after my wife and I, we were counsel people, giving spiritual guidance, and we would hear people say the same questions like, I wasn't thinking. You know, if I would have thought about this ahead of time, I wouldn't be where I am right now. And, you know, hey, all of us make mistakes. So when I kept hearing the same thing over and over again, I was thinking, well, maybe I need to write a book on this, because it's starting to become all too common about I shouldn't have done this, or I shouldn't have done that, or how did I end up here? So that's what made me write the book.
Okay. All right. Well, tell me a little bit about your ministry.
Yes, Never Again Ministries was birthed in 2008 with my first book, God is More Practical Than We Think. I wrote that book, and it did really well throughout the Christian community. And we started to get, you know, speaking engagements and doing marriage classes and giving spiritual guidance, stuff like that. So that's when the ministry started in 2008, and we never looked back. Whether if it was through speaking engagements or doing marital classes, doing stuff like that. So that's when the ministry started, and I kept writing books, and doors continued to open for us, so we never looked back.
Okay. So how many books do you have?
Actually, I have 4 books. This is my 4th book.
Okay. Can you tell me about all your titles?
Yes. The first book was God is More Practical Than We Think, If You Apply These Principles. That came out in 2008. 2009, It's the Woman You Gave came out while we played a blame game in our marriage, relationships, parents, and past. And then in 2010, I wrote my 8-week workbook entitled 3 Are Even Better. And we talked about all the tough topics in marriage that break marriages apart. So that was more working together with couples and taking notes and giving them Bible scriptures to back up. We talked about money, sex, divorce, how to affair-proof your marriage, blended families. Do you know your spouse? You could be married for years and not even really know your spouse. So those are some of the topics that we discussed in that book. And then we have wisdom preventing problems before they happen. Okay.
I also see that you do a marriage retreat. What happens on this retreat, and how does it strengthen your marriage?
Yes, the marriage retreat. It's based off of my book that I was talking about, 3 Are Even Better. So we're going to be talking about those topics we addressed earlier about sex, how to affair-proof your marriage, blended families, communication, money. We're going to talk about those different things. And the environment there is also wonderful. It's 5 acres of land in Payson, Arizona. And it's $4.99 for, a couple, of course. And it's $5.99 for if you want like the deluxe suite where you have a room, you don't have to come out for anything. You know, the deluxe room has everything. Walk-in showers, bathroom, jacuzzi, all that other good stuff. So it's going to be 2 nights. It's going to be October 25th through the 27th.
Okay. I'm going to take a second out here and show people your website. So it's Never Again Ministries. Could you give people your web address for those who want to get to...
Yes, it's www.neveragainministries.com.
Okay. Now, my next question is kind of personal.
No problem.
All right. How long have you been married, my friend?
Been happily married for 10 years.
Happily married. That's what I want to hear, my man. Happily married. Because, see, you have a lot of people that will say, yeah, I'm really having trouble with my marriage. I really want to do this retreat, but I really need someone who's not just talking about it. I want someone who's just being about it. And when you said I'm happily married for 10 years, that basically sold it for me. It's like, see, I treat it the same way I treat child psychologists who don't have children. You know, or marriage counselors who aren't even married, you know. So if you're not in there, how would you know? You know, so
right.
I'm playing a little scenario game with you here for a second. A couple comes into you and they say, all right, that's it, I can't stand her, can't stand him, and we're at the end of our rope, help us. Now, what can you do?
Yeah, I tell them that marriage comes with adversity. People, we live in a society where people get divorced off of the smallest stuff. And I'm not going to blame reality TV and all other stuff, but times have changed.
I do. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not going to get on rabbit trails about reality TV. But times have changed. We live in this open society where everybody just having sex and everybody just cheating and just doing what they want to do. So I tell married couples that just because you've been fighting for a week straight, don't give you a reason to divorce. You have to learn to love unconditionally. One of the things that help keep my marriage healthy and successful is because of I have a healthy fear of God, my wife and I. So, my wife and I fall out, I'm not going to go and do anything stupid because I understand I have a Father in heaven who can deal with me way worse than any human can. So, I'm not going anywhere. So I tell them that marriage comes with adversity. That just comes with the cake. The icing, it just comes with the cake. So don't divorce. Learn to love unconditionally, regardless of the situation, because at the end of the day, things can turn around if you continue to stay the course. The problem is people get divorced too early, because actually marriage gets better as time goes on. Because you start to know each other now. The both of you are your habits. You know what she's gonna do. You know what he ain't gonna do. And then you can also turn over a new leaf and then reinvent yourself. And then make your marriage fresh again. That's how you see all you got movie stars that in the movies for years is because they reinvent themselves. They keep doing different roles. You see Will Smith doing this, and then you see him doing this, so it helps them stay afloat.
Absolutely.
So that's what I tell people. That's what my wife and we always trying to reinvent ourselves to keep our marriage fresh.
Okay. Because I tell people all the time, it's like the divorce rate is so high and it's so easy to get a divorce nowadays. And like you said, I've known people to get divorces over the littlest things. It's like, I look at my own family life, and a lot of people in my family stay married, because the stuff people get divorced over or stuff that people in my family just argue. Oh, he leaves the toothpaste open all the time, or So in talking to my mom and talking to a lot of other spiritual leaders, when they start complaining about taking out the trash too much or toothpaste, it's usually a code for something else. He's probably doing something else, or she's probably doing something else.
Exactly, because a lot of times. And even what I wrote in the book, I wrote something simple in the book. I said, think about if your wife don't like for you to have socks on the floor. You come home from work, okay, you work 12 hours. You come home, you want to watch the game on already. You kick your socks on the floor. You know she's going to be home in 45 minutes.
Right.
No, and this stuff I put in the book. Now, you know she's going to trip out when she get home because she don't like for you to have socks on the floor. Mm-hmm. She might be a clean freak. So why don't you prevent the problem, pick up your socks, and put them where they need to be. I mean, hey, man, I know my wife. I know her likes and her dislikes. So, prime example, something small. She liked the garbage can top to be down. Me, I leave the garbage top open. So when I want to throw stuff away, I just leave it open.
It's already there, right?
yes, it's already open. But my wife, like, I don't like that. So guess what Sean do? Sean closes the garbage top. So I just prevented the problem before it happened.
Exactly. Also, too, one thing that I also noticed in our conversation, too, you also eliminate a lot of ego in relationships, too. Like, I'm the man, I can do what I want, or it's like, well, she run it, it's like, no, it's called compromise. Everybody compromises.
Yeah. You have to learn how to give of yourself, man. You got to be sacrificial. I tell singles this all the time. When you get married, go with the mindset of I come to serve as opposed to being served. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times we get married thinking this person's going to make me happy for the rest of my life. I ain't going to have no more problems. I'm like, look, if you plan on marrying this person for the rest of your life, there will be problems.
Oh, yeah. So
you have to learn how to give of yourself. My wife and I, we always play this game where we're always trying to outserve each other. And then knowing your spouse's love language. Do you know what your spouse like? If they like gifts, them gifts. If they like words of affirmation, make sure you pump them up as much as possible.
See, I really like that, my man. Do you have any tours for your books or your ministry coming up?
Well, we have the marriage retreat coming up in October, and then we have a speaking engagement to some college students in Tennessee on November 1st. Then we're also going to have a singles conference coming up, and maybe spring of 2013 we're going to have something for singles, something entitled like Before I Do, something that helps singles before they want to get married. We want to really hammer home some ideas and some stuff that singles might not think about before they get married, so it won't be a surprise to them when they are married.
Okay. Well, I just showed everybody your Facebook page and where they can find you there in addition to your website. So that way, if people want to find you, learn more about you, etc., they can get to know you. Hold on one second here. All right. So what's in the future for you?
What's in the future? We got so many more speaking engagements coming down the pipe. We got some more books coming. My new book entitled Catching Hell But Still Producing.
I like the title.
That's going to be out in 2013, so I'm definitely excited about that. So, like I said, with the speaking engagements, we got some books coming. That's pretty much it. My wife, she planning on opening up a restaurant, so we working into that slowly but surely also.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you.
Oh, it was fun. And I hope the interview with Sean Hiram was just as fun for you as it was for me. Now, when we come back, we'll have Miss Sabrina Williams talking about her new book, The Chocolate Drip.
Relationship issues or questions about loving yourself? Check out my newest columnist, Sharita Newsom. Her column provides tell it like it is advice from a personal perspective. Get to know Sharita Newsom on my HD Insider page website at www.hccampbell3.net. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. From authors Janae Sashi to Erotic Tales of Love. Intimate moments. A lady in her 30s looking for a relationship after being divorced 5 years is torn between 3 men. One is an unhappy married man, one is her ex-husband, The other one is someone she just met. She leans towards rekindling the relationship with her ex-husband, but still has reservations. She has broken off the contact with the married man and has agreed to spend some time getting to know the new man. The J Spot. Women flock to him like bees to honey and fall at his feet at the sight of him. Although he's aggressive, he's still shy and flattered by all of the attention he receives from the ladies. He really doesn't understand all the attention. He's like an average male with a large sexual appetite and has a way of giving those ladies pleasure. But there's only one lady who catches his eye. He can't seem to get her out of his mind. What is it that he's feeling? Or is it he wants what he feels he can't have? Is she out of his league? Get to know Janae Sashi on her website at janaeebennett.com and buy her book at amazon.com, CreateSpace, and all these other websites. Looking for commentary on the hardest hitting issues? Looking for someone who don't pull any punches? Looking for a debatable topic on a wide range of subjects? Check out DJ Triplet's column in which she gives you her powerful opinion, no holds barred. Get to know DJ Triplet on my HD Insider page at www.hdcampbell3.net. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. Hey, welcome back to the Author's Corner with HD Campbell. Our next and final author is with Miss Sabrina Williams. I had the pleasure of interviewing her before about her last title. Now, she comes back with a new title called The Chocolate Drip. Let's check her out and find out what her book's all about. I want to first talk about your newest title, The Chocolate Drop. What is that about?
Well, The Chocolate Drip is
Drip, I'm sorry.
The Chocolate Drip is actually a book that God gave me about 2 years ago. He gave it to me in a vision about the different chocolate characteristics that are in the church, and he started to give me that illustration by giving me different visions of different candy bars, and he began to tell me what those different candy bars meant. And so that's how the book came about. And first I just thought that it was just informational piece. And he then began to tell me that it's supposed to be a book. So that's how the book, The Chocolate Drip, came about.
Okay. And so what was basically your inspiration for the title?
Well, I began, as the more and more he began to reveal to me about what the different chocolate bars were about, gave me a depiction of chocolate dripping over the church, and how everybody always wanting a sweet word, and they go to church just to feel good, or to get that feel good feeling. And he said, we just need to start exposing some of this sweetness that's going on in the church, and let people know that they can't survive too much on that chocolate, on that feeling, on that that sweet high that they need the word of God, to go forth and make it in this world that we live in.
Okay. Hey, can you do me a favor? Let's see. I wonder if you can talk a little bit louder for me, if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind.
Okay. Also, too, I want to reiterate too. I get exactly what you're saying. People use chocolate as comfort food, which is the same way some people use the church as comfort. And they only use it for comfort.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay. So how long did it take you to write?
It didn't take me long at all. Actually, the book is a very short read. It's only 40 books. It probably took me just a few days. I mean, to really get the grasp of what he was telling me, probably took longer than it took for me to write it. So it probably just took me a few days to write it.
Okay. So let's recap for a second before we move on for a second. What inspired you to first write in the first place?
Well, Well, I think as we had discussed before, I have always had a passion for writing. When I was a little girl, I didn't have a television at home or anything as a use of entertainment. So I always found pleasure in reading and writing, and that really stayed with me through my teenage and young adult years. And later in my adult life, around age 30 or so, I had an opportunity to write some stuff and have people to read it. And I just discovered that that was my passion, and that was something that I wanted to do for the rest of my life, was to spread messages by way of writing.
Okay. Well, before I go into it, tell me what inspired your first title, "Wait Upon the Lord."
Well, actually, that's my second title. My first book that I wrote was called An Inspirational Touch.
Wait a minute,
Um,
Sabrina. I'm sorry. Could you speak up a little more?
mhm. The
Okay.
first title of my first book is actually An Inspirational Touch. That was my first book. Wait on the Lord. Actually, Wait was my second
Oh,
release.
sorry. Okay. Well, so what inspired? What inspired an inspirational touch?
What is part what?
What inspired your first title?
The first title, An Inspirational Touch from God, was basically I just wanted to let my reading audience know a little bit about me and some of the struggles that I had faced in my life, and just it serves as an inspirational piece to let people know if God, helped me through some difficult times, that God could also help them. So that's what that first book was all about. It was an inspirational piece to just sort of introduce myself as a writer and to share my story.
Okay. And how did that transition over to your second title, "Wait Upon the Lord"?
Well, wait on the Lord. I say wait. Was actually it was an outbreak for me in a relationship, well, a marriage that I was in that was very short lived, and God kept bringing it back to me. If I had just waited on Him, things would have been a whole lot different. And I thought that He wanted me to share my story about that relationship, but more so, He gave me a Christian fiction book to write about a young lady who decided that she was going to wait on God and for her helpmate to be a helpmate too, and use the internet, online dating as a catalyst for the book. And at that time, online dating was, something fairly new that was coming on the scene, and God gave me that word to share with the people that, it doesn't really matter how love comes, because He is love, and sometimes it can come in unusual ways.
Absolutely, absolutely. So tell me, with all that, um, how long have you been writing overall?
Um, I've been writing since about age 12, and I'm 40 something now.
Okay, okay, so pretty long time. Right.
Yeah.
So, huh? I'm sorry. I think I cut you off. I'm sorry. Did you say anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay. Well, my next question is: you have your books. You got the new book out. I see you promoting it all over Facebook, and you're promoting it where you can. Do you have any tours, any workshops, or anything planned?
Um, I have a women's ministry that I'm the founder of. It's called Total Vision Ministries, and I use my books as a ministry tool when we go out on tour. So our next event will be here in my hometown in Gainesville, Florida, and that will be September the 28th, and we'll be back at Prayers by Faith Ministries, ministering. And I use my ministry of writing and my ministry of faith as one combined ministry. So wherever I go, I always take my ministry of writing with me, to share with other women of faith.
Okay, okay. Now, now let's say for the sake of argument, I don't know you, but I've seen your books and I don't know where to get them. How can people contact you to learn more about your books, yourself, or to even purchase a book?
Right now, the book is being purchased through Create Space. My second book, my third book, The Chocolate Drip. Or they can always hit me up on Facebook. I'm under author Sabrina Williams. My other book, Wait on the Lord, I Say Wait, it can be purchased at http:// Wait on the Lord, I Say Wait.weebly.com.
Okay. And I have to pick on you like I pick on every other author. Do you have any other words of wisdom or encouragement for anyone who's looking to start a ministry or start a writing career or both? Anywhere for anyone trying to get to where you are right now?
I would encourage people to do is just follow their heart, follow their dreams, and start writing. A lot of people feel like when God gives them a word to share with other people, it got to be perfect. That they have to write it, and you're gonna make some mistakes as an author. You're gonna, things gonna happen along the way. You might not choose the right publishing company right the first time, or you might choose an editor that's slower than you want them to be, or something like that. But it's all about patience. Getting your word out there via book. It takes patience. It really takes patience, and you have to treat it like your baby. You have to treat it like it's something that you're birthing into the world that everybody else is going to be a part of. So I would say patience. That's the biggest thing, and don't be afraid to to share what God has given you. Because writing is a gift. That is truly a gift, and not everybody's going to be open to receive your gift and open it and unwrap it and get excited about it the way you're excited about it. But you just have to move forward and just get excited about the gift that God has given you to share. But patience is the number one thing. Don't be in such a rush to get it out there. Work with your editors, work with your publishing company, work with your graphic designers on your cover, and do it with a spirit of excellence. If you're doing it, just to throw something together because you're just ready to get it out there, then that's the way it's going to be received. But, do everything with much prayer, and ask God for direction and the resources that He sends to you, like your editor and your proofers and your graphic designer and your publication company or whoever. Just be patient.
We must be done with the interview. I hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Now, when we come back, I'm going to go ahead and read some more, but when I come back, I'm going to have a final word. Have you checked out the Author's Corner lately? It's the best show you're not watching. It's filled with news, interviews, reviews, and other surprises. Check me out twice a month with the latest in the literary world. Check me out on my website, www.hcampbell3.net, or my YouTube channel at hdcampbell1230. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. Relationship issues or questions about loving yourself? Check out my newest columnist, Sharitha Newsom. Her column provides tell it like it is advice from a personal perspective. Get to know Sharitha Newsom on my HD Insider page website at www.hcampbell3.net. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. Need a manuscript edited? Or maybe you need a press kit. HD Campbell Productions can give your project detailed attention and will not be satisfied until you are. We also do press releases, resumes, and more. For prices and services, log on to my online store at www.hcampbell3.net. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. Looking for commentary on the hardest hitting issues? Looking for someone who don't pull any punches? Looking for a debatable topic on a wide range of subjects?
Check out DJ Triplet's column in which she gives you her powerful opinion, no holds barred. Get to know DJ Triplet on my HD Insider page at www.hdcampbell3.net. And as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. I hope you like the new season of The Office Corner with the brand new interviews. I will be bringing you a lot more interviews later with more controversial authors, more controversial people, people with big messages, people with a lot to say, a lot more fiction authors, a lot more poetry authors. But I do want to make one more point before I leave you today. Over the summer, I've got a chance to meet a whole lot of new, exciting writers. I've got a chance to see a lot of movies made based on a lot of literature. I say all that to say, as writers and authors, it just amazes me how many of us love what we do. We have to love what we do first before we think about selling books or making money. We have to all love what we do. We have to love our craft. If we don't love our craft, then our craft won't love us back. And what I mean by our craft loving us back is when people read our stuff, they have to fall in love with the stuff that they're reading. That in turn makes them fall in love with the author. Well, that's The Author's Corner for this time. Stay tuned next time when I have 2 or 3 amazing authors. God bless, and as always, let your writing fuel your spirit. Thank you.